Hi guys, and welcome to part 18 of Skyrim Mod Sanctuary. And this week I'm going to start off by talking about war. Now Bethesda did a really good job of making Skyrim look harsh but somehow very beautiful. And I often find myself wandering around finding it very hard to believe that I am in a country ravaged by war. I mean, I see more violence if I go downtown on a Saturday night. And if it weren't for me wandering around the countryside, basically killing any man, woman or beast that looked at me funny, Skyrim would be a pretty slow and peaceful place. And that's what the first mod I'm going to show deals with. Wars. The mod is called WARZONES, Civil Unrest, and it's by a modder called My Good Eye, and he made a version of this mod for Fallout New Vegas, and those of you who used that mod will know exactly what to expect. He's added over 2,000 NPCs to the land that are fighting. He's added 60 different zones, little battle areas. He's added sort of dynamic battlefields that actually change as you play. So if you've picked a side in the war, you will get involved in those battles and you will find other things occur. I'll show you that in a minute. And all in all, it makes Skyrim actually feel like a war zone. And it reacts to what side you've chosen in the war. Depending on which side you choose, you get different encounters, and when you turn up, for example, with the Jagged Crown, there are slightly more opposition for you to face, and it feels a lot more like a real battle rather than just sort of 8 and 9 of the enemy and 8 and 9 of you. There's a lot more people, and you do feel like you're going to war. And this mod tries to stay very lore friendly as well. He's placed the battle encounters in places that are quite reasonable. There's a lot, they tend to be in open places, a little away from the cities, and you don't find Imperials and Stormcloaks fighting right outside the gates of Whiterun, for example. It's all fairly well placed, and it doesn't feel artificial at all. It feels very natural. It sort of feels like it's been there the whole time, as if that's how it should have been from the start. And that's it, really. I mean, it's a very simple concept in a way, and it's brilliantly done. You're just going to be traveling through Skyrim. You're going to come across roving bands of different oppositions, waging war on each other and generally trying to stab each other viciously in the face. I mean, it's war. And after all that blood and guts, let's get back to civilization for a while and relax. And of course that means we're heading back to the cities. Now, one of the problems I have with Skyrim cities is the fact that they feel very isolated. You leave Skyrim, the land, and enter the city, and it feels very separate from the city. From the land. You feel like you've left the country almost. And it would be really nice to walk up to the city gates, just open them and walk into the city and feel like you haven't left anywhere. And that's what this next mod does. Because of course the next mod is the Open Cities mod. And I cannot tell you how great this mod makes cities feel. They really feel connected to the outside land. It's amazing the difference it makes to be able to just walk around the city walls knowing that right on the other side of that wall all the NPCs are still there, still moving around. Life still goes on. It just changes the entire feel of the city. The city feels larger for a start. I mean, Riften, instead of it feeling like a small city with a small docks all connected, it's one great big place. The city just leads onto the docks, which is part of the outside world, and it makes it feel more open and bigger. And you can still see all the NPCs walking around in the city from the docks. And of course it also gives you some interesting ways to get into cities without paying bribes on the door if you don't have persuasion. This is the home in Riften, and as you can see I can jump over this railing and I can even land on the gate and now get into either side. As you can see I can see both sides standing on the gate. which is very cool. And just all in all, the city just feels more open, it feels larger for some reason, and it even looks better because you can see the beautiful lake to the side of the city from inside the city. So it just somehow enhances the city so much, I'm stunned. Now, Whiterun has also been done, although you probably should know, for some reason, some of the NPCs seem to be outside the city. The essential ones seem to be there, but I noticed a lot of the sort of random ones that just speak seem to be stuck outside the wall. Now, apparently that's not a bug with this mod exactly, but a bug with the game. There's a nav mesh bug, so unfortunately that's going to need to be fixed by Bethesda. However, it didn't seem to affect my game much, but it did make Whiterun look a little empty. So you have to decide if you like that. I'm going to live with it because I, at this moment, have finished more or less everything I do in Whiterun. So, but you should be aware of that. And he's also done Markarth, which is really nice because you can fly over the wall. Again, a slight bug with the NPCs, I think, in that when I walked through the door, the woman that gets assassinated was not there. But of course, the assassin still went through the whole assassination routine. So again, there seems to be a few little bugs going on. But all in all, it's just incredible. I mean, being able to move in and out of the city is brilliant. But it makes the city look better because you can see the outside world from inside the city. And that just somehow makes the world look more detailed, more real, and feel a lot more immersive. Now, as well as these small bugs, you should also know there is a performance hit. And it's not unacceptable, it's still very playable, but it is noticeable. So if you don't have a powerful system, you're not going to be able to run this mod. And, you know, it's to be expected. When outside a city, you now have everything that's in a city to deal with. And when you're in a city, you have a far more detailed outside world to deal with. So it's perfectly normal, perfectly expected. But it doesn't detract in any way from how amazing this mod feels, how immersive it is, and how beautiful it makes certain places. I mean, Riften, it's just a really nice place to be now. Now, hopefully Bethesda will fix the nav mesh bug because it's actually affecting a lot of mods. And when they do, this mod will be even better. And I'm hoping he's going to do the rest of the cities as well, because that will be incredible. But you should really give this mod a try. Put it in, see how you like it. I guarantee it really does feel very nice. And even if you find you have to remove it because there was too big a performance hit, or for now you had to remove it because the NPCs were behaving a little strangely, it's worth trying out just for the sheer fun of it. So put this one in and try it out. It's absolutely brilliant. Oh, and endorse it. Even if you remove it afterwards because you know, you're waiting for the nav mesh bug to be fixed, endorse it and give this mod author some encouragement, because I really want him to keep going with this mod. Now, installing both of those mods is trivial, so I'm not even going to cover it. It is literally click the download with manager button and hit activate. It's dead easy. Now, that's it for the mods I'm going to show you in this video, I'm afraid. I'm not being lazy. I've actually just been ridiculously busy this whole week. I have a couple of projects on the go at the moment, a couple of mods I am working on. And I also took quite a lot of time playing the WARZONES mod. I wanted to basically cover everything it added, and it added quite a lot. So that took up a lot of my time. And as some of you will have noticed, I've started updating my Fallout New Vegas videos, and I am going to begin the Mod Clinic series again. My basic aim is to get one video for Skyrim and one for Fallout New Vegas each week. And talking about ridiculously busy people, the Nexus staff have released a new version of Mod Manager, and unfortunately it is bugged. They're aware of this and they have posted some alternatives. some fixes. Now, fix number one is to go along to where you installed Nexus Mod Manager, and by default that is Computer New Volume C. At least I don't know what yours is called. Mine's called New Volume C. Program Files, Nexus Mod Manager, and copy the data folder. Just copy it. Go up one folder and paste. That will fix one of the problems. Once they've actually released a fixed version, you can actually delete that folder once again. You don't need it. Now that might not work for everyone. There is at least one other bug, and it's a bug that hit me, and that is when I manipulated my load order, it would crash and throw a trace log. When I checked the trace log, it basically told me it was missing something called the loadorder.txt file. So I'm not sure if that one is my problem or a generic problem, but I did notice a few other people on the forums have that as well. If the fix I just showed you didn't work, as it did not for me, what I'm suggesting you do is download version 0.14.2. There is a link on the front page, and install that. Now, I could not install it over 15, it still crashed. So what I had to do was go along to the control panel, programs and features, and find the Nexus Mod Manager, and basically uninstall it. After I'd uninstalled it, I would then closed it, and then I ran the executable I downloaded to install Nexus Mod Manager 0.14.2. Now, before you do uninstall Nexus Mod Manager, make sure you know where your mods are installed. Basically, if you go along to the settings options and look under the Skyrim tab, you'll see the folder where your mods are installed and the folder where your install info is. Make sure you know where they are. You're going to need that information when you reinstall 14.2. But once you've installed it again, you'll be able to install and uninstall mods as before, download them from Nexus, etc. But you won't be able to manipulate your load order, or it won't make any difference to the load order that actually gets imported into the game. But at least you can do the basic mod management. And hopefully a hotfix will be out fairly soon. And that's it for this video. I really do recommend you give these two mods a try. They're a lot of fun and I think you'll enjoy them. I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope you found it useful. If you did, remember, click the like button. I always appreciate that. And I hope to see you guys for my next video. And until then, have fun.